Hi everyone, today we are going to learn in this tutorial how to use PubSub, Dataflow and BigQuery to send data from streaming to BigQuery, and then we can analyze them in Data Studio using Dataflow, which is our pipeline engine running on Google. So PubSub, messaging systems using topic and subscriptions, and we have two kind of methods, pull and push. I will explain this later. Dataflow, it's Hadoop cluster and Spark Runner completely serverless, and it's using Apache Beam as SDK for writing pipelines, and also for the templates that we will use are written in Apache Beam. And of course we will do Apache Beam in our next tutorial, so stay tuned. Last but not least important, BigQuery is a data warehouse which stores data in datasets and tables and use SQL language to query terabytes of data in seconds. Today we are going to see how to use these cool tools from Google Cloud Platforms, so let's start. I will show you which problems can appear using these tools and which are the ways that you should follow in order to check the logs, why it fails, and then how to solve it. So it's going to be a little bit longer because I wanted to get you know the process. If you want to skip this, you can go to the last part where I started with the final pipeline and which it worked. But I advise you to follow the video because in this way you can also learn how to solve problems if you face one. In this episode we are going to use Google Cloud Platform to extract and load some data from some sensors of highways, and we are going to load them in BigQuery. Go to the page here, Cloud Google. I will put the link in the description. And I have macOS, so I will follow the installation process for the macOS, but you can follow for Windows these steps, and for Linux same steps almost as Mac. Let's open the terminal. So I'm going to copy the first command and I will receive the package which wants to be installed on this default directory. I do not agree. Let's put it for now in my desktop so I can easily find it. And do you want to help improve? No thanks. Okay, now as you can see, is installing it, all the commands that we need. It will take some time, so I will fast forward. Okay, do you want to continue? Modify profile to update your path and enable shell command completion. Yes, okay, and we are ready. The exec shell is to restart the cloud. Yeah, okay, and there we are. If you have same problem like me, just restart the terminal if the command exec-l shell will not work. Okay, as you can see here, you can find all commands for all. Let's give a look to them again. We have IAM machine learning, APM platform, CCD, compute, data analytics, and we have here PubSub. And we can also check that gcloud PubSub help. And it says to us how we can use. You see, we can create topic from here to manage, and subscription the same. So gcloud PubSub topics help, and this is a good way to analyze a little bit the API that we have here. So as you can see, we have create. So gcloud PubSub topics create. And gcloud pub sub topics create help. You can see that you can put here some more options, but first of all we are going to create simple topic, so it's gcloud pub sub topics create and topic name. Now if you are going to execute this command, and we will call it sensor data, as you can see we have a problem because we have no active account selected, and he says that we can run the gcloud out login in order to do this. So let's run the gout login and it's opening. Here I'm going to use this new account I just created in order to have the $300 free. By the way guys, if you register for Google Cloud Platform, you receive $300 to start to follow me on this training. We are now authenticated with the Google Cloud SDK. So we have just logged in, and you can see that here it says that your current project is none. You can change the setting by running Google Cloud config set project. But as the first time, let's check in the Google Cloud console, first of all, if we have a project. By the way, if you have a project, you can just skip this step, go a little bit forward when I start to create the topic. So I sign in. I always verify that it's my training account because otherwise I pay. I'm going to my first project. Is the project created by Google for you, and this is the ID, but I prefer to create new project for this training, and I will call it GCP training. Okay, and this will be the ID that it's going to be our project. We can create an organization when we have multiple projects with multiple departments. It's not our case now, so we just create the project. As you can see, is preparing all the things we are needing for the new project. We can try to start to set it, but I think until it's not active, it will be just became active, and now we have a project created. With the command gcloud out list, you can always check that you are connected with the right account so you don't pay. With the command gcloud projects and list, you can get all your projects and eventually the ID, so you can do then the set. Let's start. Let's go back and to our pub sub topics create, and now if we do give this command, you will see that we create a topic, and this is your path to the topic. Now let's check this in our console. We find pub sub and we are going to pin it so we can easily find it, and also we are going to pin it BigQuery because it's what we are going to use today. And we go to topics and we can see that of course we have to change project here, and you can see that now also Google enabled the API for us. By the way, if some API are not enabled, you can always pin and click enable API data flow. We click on them and we have to check. So you have to enable here and wait for Google to enabling this API. Okay, as you can see now API are enabled. It can take some little time. I just fast forward for you. Now that we have everything enabled, we can go back to PubSub. You see when they are pinned there, it's much simpler, and you can see our sensor data topic. Okay, so sensor data are created. We can already publish a message if we want. We need something to publish. To do that, we are going to use this command in order to copy this GXX to our folder, so I'm going to enter here also in desktop. Okay, I post the link in the description, so don't worry. Once is completed, you should have a gzip file in your desktop, and we can just unzip it. Gzip -d, I think is the command, exactly. And now we can look at cat sensor data. You see are a lot. Let's give a less to the sensor. So which data do we have? We have a timestamp which is ending here. We have latitude of the sensor, we have longitude of the sensor, we have the freeway, which is the highway, we have the direction of the car, which can be south, west, north. So we have the lane based on how many lanes the highway has, and then we have the speed that was read by the sensor. Okay, so let's get one of these and let's publish it to topic. We can see here you can put any message, you can just publish, and you should see also here in the graph that you count. Okay, we publish some data, cool, but what we do with them? We want to bring this info to BigQuery because then we want to analyze, and I will show you how we can give a look with a bar chart with the Data Studio on average speed and other stuff. How we can bring those data to BigQuery? First of all, we need a table in BigQuery. So let's go back in BigQuery. It is much more simple to create table and datasets from UI than from terminal. But if you want, you can always give a look with gcloud BigQuery, BigQ, sorry. And it's not BigQ, sorry guys, let's check. Should big endpoints, let's check. Should be also BigQuery somewhere here. Okay, in this case okay, so it seems that command is BigQ directly, and as you can see, that's how you do. So guys, every time when you need something which you can't find, you always have Google. You just have to Google it in the right way. So if you Google in the right way, you can find all the info you need. So the command is BigQ without gcloud. It's a special command because BigQuery is big. So they decided to create different command to do that. And as you can see again, we can authenticate because we need to create a BigQuery chief file. We do a BigQuery init and we do yes. We should say which is the project and we are going to decide the project, and that's it, we are ready. So here where you can check, you have the mk command if you want to create dataset from terminal, but again it's quite more harder, so let's keep the UI. We can go here, click create dataset. We are going to create a training dataset. We just leave the rest as default, and once we have our dataset, we should create our table. When we create the table, we first of all we have to give empty table. We are going to give a name, sensor data, and we are going to add some fields to it. Let's get the sensor data and you will see, let's put it near. You can see that you have the timestamp and this timestamp. You can also put date time if you want, better in this case. Then we add another field, is latitude, and it's of course float. Then we add longitude, and again it's float. Then we add the freeway ID, In order to work very good, we have to respect the types and the field names, otherwise the pipeline will not know how to match the data, because you will see that we are going to do this all without a line of code. So the pipeline will take our message and just match it with the table data and will take the insert. So be aware to copy very good these fields and speed, which is float. Okay, we do no partition now because we are not going to insert more than 3-4 data, so we do a create table. We create a table in BigQuery. You can see that we have first of all the schema here, which can edit anytime. Details are telling us the table ID, and this will be really important, you will see in a minute. Then we can see the creation date, the last modified date, and some other stuff here. And also we can go in preview. Of course now the table is empty, but here usually instead of going and do a select, count, limit, blah blah blah, the count of the number of rows you can see directly here, and 5-6 rows you will see here as a preview. So for these two you don't have to query nothing. Okay, now we have the sensor, we have the table, we need to create this pipeline. Now, in creating the pipeline, we go in data flow, which we didn't pin it. So see, when you don't pin, you have to go and search, and because Google has hundreds of services, it's really hard. We click data flow. What is data flow? Data flow is an Hadoop cluster and a Spark runner, which are serverless. What means serverless? It means that you do not have to take care about nothing. All is taken care by Google. You just have to deploy your pipeline, which you usually can do with Apache Beam, and we will check also that in the future, how you can create your own pipeline and not just using templates. What is super cool is that you don't have to care about provisioning, about scaling, about security. Everything is doing by Google. We just need to create a new job from template, and in our template we are going to select from PubSub to BigQuery. As you can see, we have from PubSub subscription to BigQuery and from Cloud PubSub topic to BigQuery. Which is the difference between these two? Is that if we select from topic, the template will automatically create a subscription, because nothing in PubSub can be read without a subscription created. Let's check this. So we have the topic and we have subscriptions. At the moment we don't have any subscriptions. We can create subscription from here, in which of course we have to select a topic, and as you can see, as I told you at the start, this is really important because you will need it everywhere you will use the topic, and of course one is created also for the subscription. We have two delivery types. You can check if pull subscribers must request delivery, if push PubSub delivers messages as soon as they are published. So for real time we better use push, and here we can post the API URL that needs to receive the message. Otherwise we can just use pull, and in this case we don't need any URL because we are the ones that are asking for data. In this case the pipeline will be the one asking for that. So moving sensor to BigQuery, this will be the job name. It's any job name, anything you like. We are going to choose the template from topic to BigQuery. You can see the difference. If we do from subscription, it's asking us the subscription. If we do from topic, it's asking us the topic. And here it's asking us the table. It's asking us the table. We go back to topics and we go to copy this and we put it in the data flow. Okay, and for the BigQuery we do exactly the same. The ID is in the training, in the sensor data. Here you can see in the details and you just copy it and put it here. Okay, now another thing that Google need is the GS bucket where he can store temporary data of the job. To do this, we go back and we find storage, which is here, and browser. Of course, let's pin it. We create a bucket, needs to be unique in the name. So what it means is that if I now create a sensor to BigQuery, if I would not delete this bucket at the end of this training, you have to choose another name. You can't choose my name because it's uniquely worldwide, so you can choose your own name, not using the same I'm doing now. But I will remove so you can try. Okay, so I created. We have this. Okay, we don't have to create anything for now, just get the name and put it here with GS in this format, TMP. So we are ready to review. So we have job name, topic, so now subscription, we have the topic, we have the output table, and we do run the job. It will take some time. We have to wait. As you see, the graph is still being analyzed. Okay, let's go back to pub subtopics. And as you can see, it was created as subscriptions of type pool. This was created directly from the pipeline. So you have two possibilities. Or you create your own subscription with your own name and stuff, and you just put the subscription ID and choose the subscription template, or you can use topic and Google will take care of creating its own subscription. As you can see at the moment, we have a job which is using 4 CPU, and here we have this which will read, and here it will write to BigQuery. So now that we are ready, we can go to topics and try if it's working. Publish message. Let's go back to our message. Let's take our first message and let's put it here. Publish. So if we did all good and we didn't add any mistake, we should in some seconds see those data in the BigQuery table. So let's prepare the BigQuery dashboard. And as you can see, we had some problems. And it says that failed to serialize JSON to table because we have CSV data. We have a problem. We just see that we cannot send CSV, so we need to send JSON. I did this to show you that if you're wrong, don't worry. BigQuery will create sensor data, error records, to tell you which is the problem. And you can correct and continue because the pipeline will still running. Okay, so I want to show you this, and that's why I put CSV data there. Now we are going to do something else. We are going to take some of this data, transform it in JSON. I already did for you. If you want, you can get from the link in the description. Otherwise, you can go to CSV to JSON online. You have this and you can enter, just copy some data here. Please do not forget to copy also the headers, otherwise it will not be transformed in the right format, and you just convert and you can download. Okay, so I got my file and I can just get one of these, go back to the pub sub, let's open in another tab. We do go back to topic, we do go publish message, and we do publish the new message, and let's see what is happening now. So if we have to wait some time, because as we said, this pull, so the pipeline will pull data in a repeated way. So we have to wait the next time it's pulling the data. This is happening pretty fast, but again, it is not real time. If you want real time, you have to use the push method. And as you can see, now we have elements added 1. So let's go to BigQuery and see if that is true. We go to sensor data, we go to details, we have to wait a little bit, because again, also important to know, BigQuery is not real time. It takes a matter of seconds to add data to BigQuery. So if our pipeline says that we have one element added, it should mean that we did successfully create query data in BigQuery, but we have to wait a little bit, or no, because we have another row here with another error. Let's check what is now the error. Freeway dir cannot convert value to integer, bad value s. That's because I wrong when I created the schema. Okay, no problem. So we delete the table here. We do create table. We do call it exactly the same. We do add field timestamp. Okay, and we have here again the time. Let's get those data back, because we have to take care. Latitude. We do have float, longitude, float. By the way, guys, you can imagine that I could have cut all these errors and just mount a nice video in which I show you how everything works. I don't like to do that. In my tutorials, I will do things with you, and if I'm wrong, I will show you also how I can solve stuff. So you can learn also how to debug. You can learn also to develop some problem solving skills. Do not just look and see how everything goes smooth, because in IT and usually in these things, nothing goes smooth. So you have to be prepared to have errors and just to see how you can check them and solve them. So freeway dir, this time let's not write, it should be string, okay? Lane, it's integer, and flow speed, it's float. So we have all these, we do create table, and we try again. So let's get again our nice message. Let's go back to the topic and publish again a new message and publish. As you can see, this time this pipeline make me believe that one element was added because it takes the path of write such as for records. And then problem was that it actually take the other, continue here in the errors. So let's go and see if now we have 3 rows here. No. So we are still safe. Yes, we have 3 rows. So we did wrong another thing. Let's look what we wrong this time. Because this time is string. So it shouldn't give this error. Why it gave us this error? Let's check. So free where this says and sensor data. Okay, guys, what happened? It happened that this pipeline did upload the schema, most for sure, during the moment in which it started. So now what we're going to do is going to stop this pipeline again. We're going to go back and we're going to create again pipeline from topic. We are going back to topics, copy the topic here. We are going to get again the idea of the table. And again we are going to get our storage. And let's run it again. We prepare some data to send and we hope this time we did all the details and everything is good. Sometimes you have to refresh the page because it's just getting stuck. Okay, we have problem here. Okay, it seems it has problem created the pipeline, so we have to try again because it was problem of quota. Maybe it was canceling. It's still canceling this, so let's wait for this to be cancelled. Because we have limited quota basically. Okay, it's cancelled now. Let's try again. So third try. That's the beauty of this work. Again from topic. I think now you already know what you need to do. I don't have nothing copied, so I have to go back again in PubSub and copy my topic ID. Go back to big table and storage to get my storage and /tmp, and then we go to BigQuery and get the sensor data and we are ready to go. Let's prepare some data to send. Let's copy. This time see, pipeline works now. You have to take care of the fact that using a free trial account, you can have problems with quotas because they do not allow to use all the cluster, of course, and all the resources because you are a free account. Also, you can see it here. With a full account, you will get unlimited access to the all Google Cloud platform. So we don't have unlimited access, but we have the access we need to learn. But we can have this kind of problems, and which anyway, as you can see, you can solve it pretty fast. Okay, now it's everything running. Let's try again. Sensor data, publish message, and publish. If we are lucky this time and we solved all problems, we should have a record written in the table. And if we do, we are going to add some more, and we are going to create a little bar chart just to show you how you can use it. Okay, we have one here and none here. So this means, I think this time we are in the good shape. And we are. You see that we have some buffer statistics, which means this element is going to be added now and it's here. So we have done it, guys. As you can see, after 3 tries, we solved all problems and we have our row in BigQuery. Congratulations. And now let's add some more rows, at least 10 or 15. So now what I will do, I will just go in in topics, sensor data, publish message, and publish another message. And I will do this for the next 20 messages. So do the same. I will basically fast forward. We are here. I did fast forward to these 21 messages. Of course, we don't have to add messages by pasting them on the UI. This is just because I didn't want to overload you with a Python script and explain how to do it and some other stuff. So for now we just have done by UI, don't worry. We will learn to the next tutorial how to do this manually. And if we enter in BigQuery and go in details, and we can select all from training.sensor data and check if you see we have basically 21 rows. Okay, great. So we have 2-3 waves here, which is good. We have some different directions. We have the speed. Okay, great. We are going to do it's with this data we can explore data in Data Studio. What Data Studio do for us, it's allow us, and we of course we have to authorize BigQuery to use Data Studio because Data Studio is external from the cloud. And you can see here that we can choose some stuff. Okay, so first of all we need to choose the dimension, and our dimension it will be the freeway ID. And then we can choose what to check. And look, we could put here the speed, and we have the sum of the speed. Or we can do the average of the speed. You see? And here we have average of the speed on the ways. Okay, let's put this in a bar chart. You have it here, speed 805, 863 with with the average speed. We can add metrics. Again, we can add the metric speed, and we can add it, for example, the max speed, and then we can add again speed, and when we can check the mean speed. So as you can see, of course the data are not too much to do better charts, but as you can see we can already have how much it was the average speed, the mean speed and the max speed on the high waves. You see this average, this is max, and this is mean on the high wave 8. This is average, max, and mean on the 805. And you can also go in style. You can show data labels, so numbers appear here. You can change the colors, you can do stacked bars, you can do a lot of cool stuff, and this all using Google Cloud. Thank you everyone for following me. Next tutorial we will do Python and how we can create our own pipeline with Apache Beam. This was all for today. If you like the video, please do like, subscribe to the channel, and I will keep you posted when next videos will be ready. Thank you very much. Bye bye.